Before we dive in, let's take a few moments to become fully present and settle into the space. Gently closing down the eyes, finding a comfortable seated position. Hands resting on top of the knees or on top of the thighs. Trying to keep the back straight, finding some length within the spine. Begin to draw awareness to your breath and into the body. Before any movement on the mat, I always find it useful to set an intention, a reminder of why you've come to practice. Are you choosing to have more trust within yourself, more faith in your abilities so that you can let go of the fear that holds you back? In your own time, set your intention, one that you'll come back to when the mind begins to wander, or if you feel frustrated during the practice, coming back to this breath and coming back to this intention.
So we'll start with warming up our wrists by just drawing some gentle circles with the wrists. Try to relax the shoulders, relax the face, and then start moving the wrists in the opposite direction. In the opposite direction once more, and other way. Now we're just gonna shake it out. So shaking out the hands, shaking out the wrists, shake out the arms completely, shaking it all out. Now, this is going to feel a bit silly, but we're going to start flicking our wrists. So as you do this, try to keep your arms steady, and it's just the fingers that are moving. So this really helps with starting to strengthen the wrists, as we will be spending quite a lot of time in our hands. Just flicking it and releasing. Now sending your left arm out in front of you, flip it so that your palm is facing forwards. Take a deep inhale as you grab a hold of the four fingers. And as you exhale, draw the four fingers back as you straighten out through the arm, pressing the heel of the palm forwards as much as possible. Releasing, inhale, grabbing a hold of the thumb. And as you exhale, dragging the thumb backwards to press the heel of the hand forwards. We'll release and we'll shake it all out before we come to the other side. Stretching out the right hand. Take a deep inhale as you grab a hold of the four fingers. And as we exhale, we're pressing the heel of the palm forward, straightening through that right arm. Releasing, take a deep inhale, grab a hold of the thumb this time. And as you exhale, drawing the thumb backwards to press the heel of the palm forwards, arm is straight. And let's release it all down. A couple more just flicks with our fingers, circles, moving out the arms, whatever it is you need to do. Now coming in to start warming up our core, we'll uncross the legs. I'm just turning over to the side so that you can see better as we come to our boat pose Navasana. Couple options here. So you'll be shifting the weight back and notice that the feet begin to lift off the mat. Keep drawing the inner thighs in towards each other. So it's a really strong adduction action as we press into the hands to keep the chest lifted. So two options here. You can keep the hands onto the mat, sort of aligned with the hips, pressing into the hands, pointing through the toes. That's option one. If you want to take it a little bit further, then we're reaching the fingertips forwards. Arms are straight, keep trying to lift up within the chest, and think about drawing the belly in towards the spine, so belly button in to really turn on our abdominal muscles. Pointing through the toes, still drawing the thighs in. We'll hold it here for 3 more breaths, and showing that we're still breathing deeply. And release the feet down. So we're going to go for another round, and this time we'll add a seated crow variation. So we're really trying to build up to our crow pose from the very beginning, from the warm-up. So come to your boat pose. Maybe this time, if initially you had the hands down onto the mat, you'll start to explore extending the arms forwards, holding it here, belly in, drawing in the thighs towards each other, really pointing through the toes, chest is lifted. Now you'll bend the knees, think of bringing heels towards the glutes. As you extend the arms, separate the knees slightly, trying to bring the knees on the outside of the triceps. Arms are straight, flex the hands back towards you as much as possible, drawing belly in, and it's really a rounding action within the spine. Think about almost planting your hands on an imaginary wall. We're looking forwards. Keep squeezing heels towards the glute, pointing the toes, and release. Right, so now we're going to combine those two actions. Shifting the weight backwards, feet will be lifting off the mat. Remember, you still have the option to start with the hands onto the mat, pointing the toes, lifting through the chest, drawing belly in towards the spine, shoulders back as we lift the chest even more. Now let's begin to extend the arms forwards, beginning to bend the knees, heels to glutes. As we extend the arms in front of us, flexing the hands back towards us, so fingertips back towards us, heel to glutes, rounding within the spine. Think about pressing forwards as much as possible. And as you extend the legs. Let's come back to that boat. We're going to do that 2 more times. Drawing the knees in towards the chest, as high up onto the arms as possible, towards the armpits, flexing the hands, heels to glutes, rounding within the spine. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, send it back to your boat. Maybe you even begin to straighten the legs. 1 more time, inhaling to bend into that seated crow, drawing belly in, rounding within the spine, and exhaling into our boat pose, bringing hands down if needed, and crossing back at the ankles.